Well, that's a way to get some heat. These are my assorted thoughts on the January 17th, 2025 WWE Smackdown. Welcome to Silo Voice Wrestling on YouTube and the Silo Voice Wrestling podcast, wherever you get your podcasts. From Silo Voice Studios in Montreal, I'm Jason C. McLean. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and ring that bell for notifications to get all my wrestling hot takes, cold takes, simmering takes, WWE Premium Live Event prediction and review videos, wrestling opinion pieces, and of course, assorted thoughts on Raw and SmackDown. Now, I'm recording this the 18th of January around 5 p.m. SmackDown was last night. And before I get into it, I just want to say that when I watched SmackDown last week on Netflix, because I'm in Canada, instead of the commercial breaks, they just had a break in progress coming soon thing with like different SmackDown stars posing. They had that a bit this week too, but for all the breaks that were during matches, like on Raw, they actually showed the continuation of the match with the announcers. And for some of the earlier breaks that weren't during matches, they actually showed some promo segments, some backstage segments like they did on Raw. I guess they just didn't have enough content for some of those later breaks. So it's good to see they're going in that vein now as well, too. Now, of course, we were in San Diego, California in the 619, which is the home of none other than Rey Mysterio. And Rey Mysterio kicked things off, said he was going to be in the Royal Rumble. And he was interrupted by Kevin Owens. Now, I don't know if you can see it in this picture, but his shirt says, "The Canadian Dream, son of a security systems technician." I thought that was some brilliant bit of trolling. One of his parents or both of them could have been security system technicians. I don't know. I think I have no reason to doubt that. And I think it's hilarious because it's just a random thing to pick. Yeah, we have a lot of security system technicians here in Quebec, or maybe we don't. I don't know. Just honest. I guess that, yeah, that is a blue collar job. So yeah, that makes sense. I really liked how KO showed both sides of his personality, like his normal personality and the snapping, like, "Sorry for interrupting, I respect you, I want to fight you at WrestleMania." When Rey said, "You're not the champion right now," instead of just saying, "Yeah, if you retain your champion, if you're still the champion after Royal Rumble or something like that, I'll fight you." But no, he says, "You're not the champion right now," and KO snapped. And yeah, of course, brought out Cody, set up the match for later in the night, which was a good match, but got KO quite a bit of heat. First of all, KO won, sort of shows his legitimacy as a challenger to Cody or the Winged Eagle champion. Also, mainly after the match, he was going to give the package pile driver to Rey Mysterio. Fortunately, Cody saved the day. Now, almost putting out a legend in his hometown. I think maybe they thought that Kevin Owens was definitely a good heel, but people liked them too much. And I think they wanted to just re-emphasize the fact that you're supposed to boo this guy. He's a real bad guy. And that's an excellent way to do it. And we got a match, KO versus Rey Mysterio, which, as KO said, we've never had before. So now he has fought Rey Mysterio and beat him legitimately, no cheating, but then almost got that massive heat at the end. I thought that was really well done. And with the whole Nick Aldis trying to get both to sign an addendum to their match contract, I don't know what the addendum is, but I think that was just the main way to get Shawn Michaels, who's going to be presiding the contract signing on Saturday night's main event. Now, yeah, a contract signing is now a major event on a major PLES TV show. So I think maybe, honestly, maybe they're replacing Hulk Hogan with Shawn Michaels. Maybe that's why they're doing it. Also, it gets both those guys on the show. I'm actually very interested to see that contract signing. Bayley in her home state challenging Tiffany Stratton for the WWE Women's Championship was a really good match. It was a really good main event. Bayley, of course, came close a number of times, but Tiffany would prevail, as I think we all knew she would. We didn't think she was going to lose on her first defense, and I was wondering why they put Bayley in there. And it dawned on me, this is to give Tiffany's championship reign legitimacy. She won with a cash-in, so even no matter how good she is, you know that she hasn't actually beaten Nia Jax in a full match or anyone really in a full match to win it. So her reign is at the core could potentially become a not that credible reign. And they don't want that from her. So how do you justify or give credibility to the reign? You have her win a really intense match against someone the caliber of Bayley and almost lose, but retain. I think even it was Tessitore or Wade Barrett. One of them said that you want a layup for your first title defense, not this. And no, this is what they want. This is what she needed. And now I think Tiffany Stratton has all that more credibility. And it was a fun main event to end the show with. Last week, I said that Chelsea Green needs a new feud. And her and Piper sort of got one in the form of B-FAB. I like how they're using her full name now, B-Fabulous. And I say sort of because the match wasn't against Chelsea. It was against Piper. And unlike the whole, Ludwig Kaiser losing against Gunther's next opponent, Piper won. So does that mean she's going to be Chelsea's next opponent? And also, or actually more importantly, Michin came in for the save at the end. So Michin's definitely still part of it. Maybe they're doing Chelsea and Piper versus Michin and B-FAB. So they got that going. And maybe they will have B-FAB as Chelsea's next opponent or next feud and challenger. And I kind of like where this is going now. I was thinking she definitely needed someone new, and she has someone new. And even though Michin's still part of it, it kind of makes sense. They're building up this division around the Women's United States Championship, almost with like versus tag teams because of Piper's association with Chelsea. And who knows, at some point Piper might turn on Chelsea. So I like where they're going. And I also really like the fact that B-FAB is now in the singles picture. Jimmy Uso versus Carmelo Hayes was a good match, enjoyable, but honestly, I like it for one member of the OG bloodline to fight Carmelo Hayes, beat Carmelo Hayes without any interference from the new bloodline. I mean, Sammy was going to beat Carmelo and then walked off, and then new bloodline came in. This happened to Jimmy. I think maybe Jey Uso's on Raw. Maybe he's a little too big to be fighting Carmelo Hayes. Roman Reigns is definitely too big to be fighting Carmelo Hayes. So I guess Jey, you're her last chance. Or I don't know. But I thought it was hilarious how Carmelo thinks he's found new buddies, and nope, he doesn't. Of course, this was to set up Solo Sikoa coming down the aisle. And on the Netflix version, went to commercial, we saw him continue to walk down. We saw Jacob talking to the crowd, them still booing. So it was accurate when they said that the crowd was booing the entire time. And of course, this set up Solo taking the mic, trying to talk, and then just walking off. I'm not sure how I feel about this. Are they writing Solo out of it for a while? Is he going to acknowledge Roman Reigns and the new bloodline, his new bloodline, are their own thing, and Jacob's going to take leadership? Well, Jacob did take the microphone after and started getting the boos from the crowd, maybe taking the sort of a leadership role in this. And I don't think they're going to turn him babyface, but we did get LA Knight, and Braun Strowman coming in. And we have a match out of this. Braun Strowman versus Jacob Fatu at Saturday night's main event. Wow, I'm looking forward to that. I'm pretty sure Jacob is going to win, but maybe Braun's going to win. He's a big guy. He's a tough guy. Jacob is a big and tough guy too. He's a little bit more agile and wild. So my money's on Jacob, but I'll do a prediction video about that. But I'm a little confused where they're going with Solo. But I like this direction. They're giving Jacob a singles match that's not necessarily related to the bloodline or related to Solo's interests. So see where this goes. Los Garza looked competitive against the Motor City Machine Guns. I mean, I knew MCMG was going to win, but you know what? Los Garza put on a good fight. Maybe they're trying to give him some more credibility, which is good for the tag team scene overall. I'm a little confused by Pretty Deadly's interference. I mean, their interference didn't work. It was supposed to help Los Garza out, but it helped MCMG out. And now there's the whole bit backstage with them and DIY, Ciampa and Gargano, with Ciampa saying, like, we don't need you, get your shit together. And Gargano pretty much saying the same thing in a nicer way, all the manipulation. So I'm not sure where they're going with Pretty Deadly. I think they're maybe turning Los Garza and maybe all of Legado babyface. Could that be possible? I guess you need more babyface tag teams, especially if Street Profits are out for a while. So it was a good match. I kind of knew the outcome, but they didn't know how they were going to get there, and I was kind of surprised how they got there. So good job. And Naomi and Bianca Belair, the titles weren't on the line, but they beat Nia Jax and Candice LeRae. I think the big takeaway from this is that Candice and in particular Nia are not focused on Tiffany Stratton this week. So maybe Stratton's going in a different direction. And they did have a coming soon video from the return of Charlotte Flair. And she kind of looks like Tiffany Stratton in the video too. Honestly, the first few shots before they showed her face, and they're like several-time world champion. Okay, yeah, it's Charlotte, and she was on the boat. I think she was on the boat last time. when her dad was always on like airplanes and limo, she's always on a boat. I'm on a boat. Anyway, so those two things indicate that they're going in a different direction with Nia. Also, check out my video on my theory on who attacked Jade Cargill. Spoiler alert, it's not Naomi or Bianca or even Bayley. You didn't watch that video. So it was still a good match. Nia and Candice lost, but good match to kick off the show. And these were my assorted thoughts on the January 17th, 2025 WWE Smackdown from San Diego, California. What did you think? Did you agree with my take? Do you have your own takes? Let me know in the comments. Follow at Silo Voice Wrestling on Facebook and Instagram, at Silo Wrestling on X, and me at Jason C. McLean on X and Instagram. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and ring that bell for notifications. I'll be back with my assorted thoughts on Monday's Raw, and most likely my prediction video for Saturday night's main event. For Silo Voice Studios in Montreal, I'm Jason C. McLean.